We're going to some fantastic Saturday games, folks. That's our one Friday game. We're going to keep that one quick. I know you guys aren't tuning into DRF Daily to listen to my breakdown about UTSA and FIU. You're here to listen to this top 10 matchup. Penn State travels to Michigan to take on the Michigan Wolverines. I forgot for a second who their mascot was. Michigan's the 7-point favorite. And then from there, we're breaking down Alabama, Tennessee, a top 10 matchup that is going to be a fantastic, fantastic game. I can't wait for that. But first, it is the Penn State-Michigan game. Penn State number 10, Michigan number 5? Why don't I know that off the top of my head? Michigan number 5. Michigan a 7-point favorite. And look, folks, our power line thinks Michigan's more like a 13-point favorite. Isn't that insane? Estimate number 1 likes Michigan to kind of blow out PSU. Estimate number 2 kind of likes Michigan to blow out PSU. And folks, I'm siding with the data here. I'm on Michigan -7. I think this is a competitive game, but I think Michigan's going to pull away late. They have the better offense you see here. They have the better defense. Offensively, they do 6.9 yards per play. They only allow 3.9 yards per play on defense. They don't allow more than 12 points per game. They actually allow just 11 points per game. Since 1992, Penn State is 2-18 against the spread against teams that allow less than 12 points per game. Michigan's 4-0 straight up at home, but just 2-2 against the spread. And they have looked a little shaky in their last few games. And I'm looking at you, Indiana game. I'm looking at you, the Iowa game. I know Iowa has a great defense, but Michigan, if you're a top team in the country, you got to go into those and blow them out. They're 1-1 over their last 2 against the spread. Penn State 2-0 straight up and against the spread on the road this season. It's going to be a great game because James Franklin, he's 20-3 against the spread after not covering the previous game, but still winning. And that's exactly what happened last time. And Penn State's rush defense, it eats up opposing rushing attacks. And that's where Michigan really likes to get their game going. They average 5.4 yards per rush, and that's kind of the lifeblood of that team. Penn State allows less than 1.5 yards they allow less than 100 yards per game. Sometimes these breakdowns are a little crazy. So Penn State allows less than 100 yards per game. They allow 82 yards per game, which is about 3 yards per rush. Last game, they held the opponent to under 1.5 yards per rush. And historically speaking, since 1983, you're going to want to bet on an underdog of 3.5 to 10 points when they're coming off of a game like that, because they're 60-25 against the spread. But I think historically speaking, they don't necessarily know the Penn State, Michigan stuff. This is like analytics. The evidence tells you where you should go, but you also got to take in a little bit of the human element as well. Michigan's been on the road the last 2 weeks. This spot is huge for the Wolverines. They've been on the road. They've looked a little shaky. I mean, Michigan wants to be considered the cream of the crop in the Big Ten, right? And in order to do that, they're going to have to not only win this game, but I think they're going to have to destroy Penn State. I don't think they destroy Penn State by any means, but I do think Michigan wins this game, and I think they cover. Michigan -7 is the play. If you come over here, look at the line, only 27% of the public is on Michigan -7. The line has not moved a lot, so this line's about the same. Money coming in equally, probably on both sides. I just think Michigan in this spot is the better team, and they've been hearing it the last couple of weeks that they're not all they're cracked up to be. They struggled against Indiana. They struggled against Maryland. Maryland had them on upset alert. And then Iowa wasn't as dominating of a win as they wanted to. Granted, it was at Kinnick. That's a tough place to play, and Iowa's defense is damn good. But I think this is a game Michigan's going to come into, and they're going to want to make a mark. It gives me almost Michigan State. I believe it was last year when both teams came into it ranked, and Michigan just kind of ran away with it and destroyed them. So I'm going to say Michigan -7. I'm going with the power line. Our power line likes Michigan -13. I agree with that. Estimate number 1 likes Michigan to win 38-17. Estimate number 2 likes Michigan to win 35-21. both of which give the edge. This is a complete gold star sweep for the Wolverines, and there's no way I can fade that. Michigan -7 all day, every day, and I feel really, really good about that.